Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWUS MLB Saturday. I'm just breaking down one game, but we'll go through all 15 of them on the live show at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. The game I'm talking about in this video, Boston on the road in St. Louis. Let's do it.
Welcome to the SWUS. The SWUS. SWUS. Hey, get the SWUS.
All right, like I said, Red Sox on the road at Cards. Cards are short home dogs here, plus 100, total sitting at 8. We got Cutter Crawford going for the Red Sox, Miles Michaelis pitching for the Cards. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we have a slight lean on Boston through the first 5 and a slight lean on Boston the full game. 3.05, 2.49, 4.68, 4.1. So let's start with the matchup for Michaelis against the Boston lineup. Miles Michaelis definitely off to a rough start this season, 6.19 ERA and a 1.48 whip. Now, he does have a 4.01 expected FIP, indicating that he's definitely had some bad luck in there. But things don't appear to be getting better for Michaelis. In his last 3 starts, he's got a 6.75 ERA and a 1.50 whip. So when is that positive turnaround going to come from Michaelis? It's not even on the horizon as of right now. And somehow things have actually been even worse for him at home. He's got a 7.63 ERA and a 1.70 whip at home this year. So things are looking pretty bleak here for Miles Michaelis to start this handicap. I do have some good news for him, though. Boston bats are definitely cooling down. In the last 14 days, 29th, 26th, and 29th in WRC plus OPS and WOBA. You can see in the last 30 days, numbers are much better than that. The last 4 righty starters to pitch against Boston, 4.91 ERA, but just a 1.05 whip. So they've been scoring some runs, but the base runners aren't really there, meaning power has kept them alive. Is that sustainable or not? It's a good question. I do have some good news for the Boston lineup, though. They've been much better on the road this year. In the last 30 days, they're 7th in WRC+, 7th in OPS, and 7th in WOBA on the road. I was actually just talking about this the other day, how I don't trust Boston's bats at home in Fenway right now. So the fact that they're on the road might be a positive for them. That being said, I don't like how Miles Michaelis doesn't walk guys. He has just a 4.7% walk rate on the season. Boston against righties with a walk rate below 6%, 26th, 25th. So Boston's really struggled against these righties that don't draw walks, or don't walk people, I should say. But are things turning around for Boston? I mean, they did just get to Littell the other day. He has a low walk rate. They did just get to Kyle Gibson. Kyle Gibson got the win, but Boston definitely smacked him around. So maybe things are turning around for the Red Sox lineup. I showed you numbers from the last 14 days. They actually got to a couple righty starters last night and tonight. So maybe things are turning around for Boston. It's overall tough to make a prediction on this side. I haven't been putting much faith in the Boston bats recently, but like I said, they got to Littell. They did get to Kyle Gibson. Michaelis has been really bad, so I really think we could count on Boston to score some runs here. The other matchup is Cutter Crawford pitching against the Cards offense, and Crawford's been excellent this season, 2.24 ERA and a 1.11 whip. He does have a 3.93 expected FIP, indicating he's had a little bit of good luck. And over his last 4 starts, we are starting to see some regression. 3.96 ERA and a 1.24 whip. Now, this game's on the road, which is actually a positive for Cutter Crawford because, as we know, as we talked about several times, historically, he's much better outside of Fenway Park, and that's remained true this season. Through his 4 road starts, he's got a 1.59 ERA and a 1.15 whip. And things get even better for Cutter Crawford here. The Cards are going to have 5 lefties in their lineup for this game. Look how good Cutter Crawford's been against lefties. 2.20 WOBA and an 0.96 whip. So 5 lefties in the lineup for the Cardinals, and Cutter Crawford's been dealing against lefties. Now, here's the bad news for Cutter Crawford. The Cardinals bats are scorching hot right now. In the last 14 days, they're 3rd in WRC+, OPS, and WOBA against right-handed pitching, and that's not even including tonight's game that just ended. They rocked Bayo. They rocked Brian Bayo. But will they be able to get to Cutter Crawford here? Something I like, he's got a high strikeout rate. He's got a 24.2% strikeout rate. Look at the Cardinals' numbers against righties with a strikeout rate above 24%. 28th, 29th, 26th. So the Cardinals, yeah, they have some excellent numbers against right-handed pitching recently, but we can see here they've actually struggled against righties that are able to generate strikeouts like Cutter Crawford can. And yeah, those numbers against righties definitely look great, but look at the numbers from the last 5 righty starters to pitch against the Cardinals. Got a 141 whip, so they are getting guys on base, but just a 231 ERA, so they're not turning them into runs. I think Crawford has a chance of pitching well here, even against the red-hot Cardinals lineup. I think Boston definitely has the edge to the first 5, which is super square, but I don't care. I think Crawford's going to pitch a decent game, and I think Boston will definitely get to Michaelis, so I like it. As far as the bullpens, I mean, not much here. You see ERA 9th to 17th, so I guess Boston's bullpen in the last 14 days have been slightly better, but look at the expected FIP. So I don't really know what I think of that. And if we look at, because it's in St. Louis, we look at some road and home numbers here. You can see Boston's numbers on the road, 2nd in ERA in the last 30 days, but 23rd in expected FIP. So I really don't know what I think of the bullpens. And then what scares me even more, look at St. Louis's numbers against bullpens in the last 14 days. Cards have been rocking lineups in the late innings. So I don't want anything to do with innings 6+. In fact, this is probably a nice spot to look at the Cardinals live. But in the first 5, Prop Beaver wrote his pick down. He likes Boston first 5 money line. I'm going to lay the half run. Boston first 5 run line. I can think it's at plus 105, plus 110, somewhere in there. Give me Boston first 5 minus a half run. Like I mentioned, live show 11 a.m. Eastern time. We'll go through the NBA, WNBA, all the MLB games, all of that. If you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. If you want my top bets or top bets from anyone on the staff here, head over to KyleKirms.com and sign up for Sauce Network Plus. Also comes with a link to the Discord if you're interested. Let's have ourselves a nice weekend here. Definitely got off to a red hot start. Coming into this weekend with some momentum, man. Had a great Thursday, great Friday night. Let's keep that rolling. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.